Up the floor for public comment. George.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Kevin, too. I can't speak as fast as the chief, but I'm going to try. One of the things that was missing in the organizational chart that he alluded to is Neighborhood Watch. And partly this is because I'm probably one of the last citizens actually advocating it, you know, so that's kind of problematic for my political opponents on the city council. Don't want to further or have me put a feather in my cap for something they don't want to see. But because there's staffing challenges for the police department, it's more incumbent upon us as citizens and neighbors to institute Neighborhood Watch, where you can coordinate between each other and so forth. Keep an eye on maybe a drug house or something like that, and you guys can talk before you bother the police department. So I'm going to take this up with the city council, but I want you guys to think about it. Neighborhood Watch is very powerful across the country through the Department of Justice, very valuable tool for communities. Also, before the SAFE Team program got started, I'm going to give you a little history. There was zero tolerance in this town for the homeless. And I can get you in touch with police officers, former police officers, they'll tell you. Zero tolerance. They didn't want no panhandling. They didn't want a homeless in this town. They didn't want anybody sleeping in their cars. None of this because of the distraction to tourism and so forth. In fact, police officers were giving out bus tickets out at Cotati, one way to Petaluma, okay? And I can get you in touch with these officers who are no longer here, okay? Because of the economic impact of homeless. You go right over to Roanoke Park, it's a little different, okay? The other thing is Cotati has had a long tradition in police vacancies being a problem. And Chief Stewart once brought up the fact that he was so transparent. He said there were certain hours of the day when they had vacancy open, we had no police officers on duty. Then you couple that with somebody who doesn't come to work, it's a bigger problem. And it happens. It happens when these agencies are fighting over police officers and so forth, right? But it's a reality. It can happen. The other issue is, I'm going to take you back to 2009. We had a big recession. All of you remember it. People lost their jobs. They lost their homes. It was terrible, especially people in the private sector. What you did see is a lot of civil servants, police officers, city workers, county workers, who got no pay cuts, and they made out really good during the recession. They were buying up properties. They were flipping properties, and some of them were my friends, okay? Cotati went through a bad budget problem because we had not saved for a rainy day. Roanoke Park saved for a rainy day. So we were looking at cutting police budgets and other budgets in this town seriously. I went on 4 police ride-alongs. None of the other council members would go on police ride-alongs, okay? But I wanted to know what's going on with the officers. And they would say, George, we can't take a 20% cut in pay. We can't do it. I've got an ex-wife. I've got kids from that marriage. I got a new wife. I got a new baby. You can't do it. And they're leaning on me. This is a reality that happened during the recession. And then there was years that there was no audio recording, there was no video recording in here, there was no body cams on the officers. And the things that happened out there, it was atrocious. We're in a different time now because of their body cameras, citizens have body cameras and so forth. But there was a lot of shenanigans going on in this room and in the police department and so forth that hopefully, because of technology, that's changed. In 2009, when I was on the city council, they purged all the audio of the council meetings because of the racism and the attacks and the hand gestures and the fist. It was something. But now, because of this, we citizens have a chance, and it is a new day. So I think I'm out of time, Kevin. Is that right? Am I out of time? So anyway, I had a couple more things. I think I can save it because we have one more opening later. Thank you.
Thank you. Any public comment from our members on Zoom?
Yes, thank you, Chair Jarrett. We do have a hand. Lori, you have the floor.
Hi. It has been a new dawn on the police and ever since the SAFE program came in. And I wanted to tell you this story of how the city of Cotati became the first in the Cotati Roanoke Park Safe one. It was Cotati who came first. on Friday, a homeless man in Cotati, who we've helped for many years, he showed up in our garage, and he was having both a mental health crisis and a medical problems. And I knew from the council and everything that the SAFE team was starting. And but he didn't have resources until he wouldn't go to the police because he's extremely afraid of police, and he wouldn't, he's even afraid of like smart meters being indoors. Anyway, he, so I called Cotati's dispatch, and what we did was on Monday, we waited the weekend, and SAFE's team started at noon. The first house they went to ours is my neighborhood with the $1 million house is on the west side to help Michael. Michael, they took him, which was the first call, was they took him to the Petaluma Health Center. They set him up for homeless services. It was just amazing. And so that's a piece of history, and that's probably when, Cotati started to change. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members joining us from Zoom?
Seeing no further hands, that will end public comment. Thank you, Chair Jarrett.
Okay. Before moving on to the next, I just wanted to check in to see if there was any